Keto and Krime, Keto and Krime. We uncover the grime on Keto and Krime. Keto and Krime, Keto and Krime. Now is the time for Keto and Krime.
Hey everyone, Tracy here from Keto and Krime. Thank you so much to every single one of my patrons and channel members. You make this possible. And you're one of the reasons I do this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if I haven't said it before, thank you. I'll sing it. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with me and letting me geek out, not making fun of me like a lot of other people do, because I like weird stuff about crime and dark history. Thanks, everyone.
We in the news with it. This what the paper said.
All right.
Hey everyone, what you were just watching was footage from the July 24th, so 2 days ago if you were watching this on Tuesday the 26th when it's released, live streamed services at the Leaders of Tomorrow International Church in Brooklyn, New York, with the Bishop Lamor Whitehead presiding. During the church service, as you saw, we saw what appeared to be two armed men entered the chapel and basically told everyone to get on the ground, as the pastor did back them up. So everyone got on the ground except for the one dude in the corner, which I thought was very funny that he did not even make a move, but I'm sure he was petrified. I would be. Got on the ground, and then they proceeded to rob everyone that was in the audience, plus the pastor and his wife. And according to news reports, they got over $1 million in jewelry and cash off of the pastor and his wife. No mention of how much was taken off other parishioners, because I guess they don't matter. But anyway, and walked right out the door. Now, according to news reports, he did immediately jump into his leave services. He jumped into his car and proceeded to follow them, jotting down their license plate information and trying to get a look at their faces once they took their coverings off. And he gave all that information to police. The search is ongoing. He believes that this was in retaliation for him assisting law enforcement in bringing in someone that was suspected of killing people on a subway. So bravo to you there, Pastor. Now, he is a bit of a flashy pastor. He is definitely a member of what we know as the prosperity gospel, where they really believe that God means his chosen to be wealthy, both, possessions and in spiritual wealth. But he's definitely flashy, and he's definitely a controversial preacher.
Right. It's pretty much stating that I don't want
I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes. Whitehead says cops have a license plate and witnesses saw the men change clothes outside.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You know, and I hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time.
Whitehead believes his family was targeted because of the publicity he received when he helped turn in the suspect wanted in the fatal subway shooting of 48-year-old 𝐚𝐸𝐻𝐚𝐭 in May.
I turned them in, but the media called me the Bling Bling Bishop. They had my Rolls Royce car all over everywhere, and I feel that that played the part in this. I think
who has strong ties to newly elected New York City Mayor Eric Adams, pictured here. Now, the arrest that he is credited with, there's a little more to it. I think that getting a criminal off the streets is a good thing, but the way that went down was a little spooky. Andrew Abdullah was the guy that he helped get arrested. He shot Daniel Enriquez on a Q train in the New York subway system and was free at large for about 48 hours. That is when Bishop Whitehead, who is known for driving his Rolls Royce around Manhattan and Brooklyn, also being a good friend of Mayor Eric Adams, made contact with the family whom he had done business with. Now, this pastor is certainly not clean. He was convicted or accused, allegedly, of being part of an scam and then get the money from, so he's not entirely clean. And speaking of his former con, here it is from a 2006 article in the New York Post. Basically, Lamor spelled exactly the same way, 27 in 2006. Now, according to, he's between 42 and 44 now, so if you do the math, that's right around the age group. He was convicted, though, in 2006, or arrested, rather, for 10 counts of identity theft. That is using other people's identity to get lines of credit. He was known as a high roller who likes flashing bling, much like he does now, driving the Rolls Royce, and had basically scammed people out of more than $2 million in false identities. Now, he had a $487,000 home in New Jersey at the time, and he also had a couple of stolen firearms. But basically, that is what he is accused of. I couldn't find any other further information, but it's definitely him. The age and everything kind of matches up. His personality kind of matches up. Definitely him. He also has 2 previous, he was talking about having an 8-month-old baby. He also has 2 children by a former relationship. Not saying that people can't change. I'm sure that perhaps because he was a criminal, now he is trying to help rehabilitate criminals, and I admire him for that. But his propensity for flashing, being kind of a high roller, has definitely not changed. He basically reached out to the family of Abdullah with promises to help them secure legal representation, and offered to meet both the family and Abdullah at a Brooklyn legal aid office, and then arrange for him to peacefully surrender to New York police. And so that was the cue. But instead of that happening, he also, I guess, let his friend, the mayor, know what was going down. And instead of that happening, Abdullah was arrested by New York City marshals before he could even enter the legal aid office. So it was kind of I don't know if the bishop had anything to do with it, or with that early arrest, or perhaps after he told the mayor what was going down, the mayor decided to get some PR off of it, because it definitely looks good to arrest an accused murderer forcibly, so I don't know. But no matter the issues around that, he's definitely a controversial figure who, like many prosperity gospel preachers, defends his flashy possessions being flashed about with giving hope to the masses, giving hope that you can get there, and just showing that he's blessed. Now, I don't have a problem with material possessions at all, but I think if you're a pastor and, I'm not sure what area of Brooklyn he's in. It could be one of the more wealthy areas, but according to him, he had an outreach to the African American community and often given help to people that were having legal scuffles. And he said that he feels that this is retaliation for what happened with Mr. Abdullah. But he also said that it's sad because if any of those people had come to his church for help, they would have gotten it. So I think this is definitely one of those things with that has a mixed outcome. But basically, what the thieves took that day was a $75,000 Rolex watch, a $75,000 Cavalier watch from the bishop and his wife, $25,000 Episcopal ruby, because it is affiliated with the African American Episcopal Church, and a diamond ring, a $25,000 Episcopal diamond ring, $25,000 pair of earrings, a $20,000 diamond and emerald cross, and $20,000 Episcopal ring, a $20,000 Episcopal cross, and a $10,000 Episcopal gold cross. So you add all that up, that is about $250,000. So I'm assuming that the rest of it was taken off the congregants, but they made it appear that it was all off of his wife. But I don't know how much cash or whatever they got. But in any case, it is a sad situation, and I think if you're going to relate this to the Bible, you reap what you sow, and I think perhaps with him flashing around his wealth, they knew that this was a wealthy church, and let's go in and get it. Now, whether or not it was in retaliation for what happened, I don't know. But the things around that case, very, very sketchy. Very, very sketchy. Whether it was a PR stunt by his good buddy Eric Adams, I don't know. But very, very sketchy. So, just thought I'd bring you this interesting tidbit, and I will be back soon with another video. Until next time, let me know what you think about this case. Is it comeuppance? Is it karma, so to speak? Or is this just a sign of the times where you can be robbed in church? I don't know. But with that being said, until next time, Keto and Krime.